Hmm, cool. Good evening! Welcome to Damage Does D&D. We are back with episode 10?
Yeah, that looks right.
10?
That's
Is that
that's
10?
correct. Yeah,
That's 10, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
it's,
10.
it's episode 10 of the Elusive Tide. Wow. We've got 10 episodes going. That's really cool. Well, without further ado, I will hand you over to our Dungeon Master. Jade, take it away.
So last we left off, you guys were on one of the islands that had risen out of the sea beneath you. You had investigated it thoroughly and found some very fun, sparkly warding runes that you proceeded to break. Then you read a book and really regretted breaking those runes. And you looked inside the prison that they were guarding and found that it was empty. So you decided that island wasn't as fun anymore, and returned to your ship to continue sailing. Um, Items were identified, meals were cooked. There wasn't any golem in the golem surprise, but that didn't go too well. And the cloak was not handed out that day. And you sailed on to the shanty of Deephorn, which was in disarray as you arrived. It had recently been attacked by several ships, and upon drawing closer, had found that it had been attacked by Blue Blades vessels. Upon making land and assisting with putting out fires and making repairs, um, Captain Phineas was approached and asked to come to the manor to meet with Lord Bazorn, who requested that the Elusive Tide do a little bit of revenge on the Blue Blades, but not before speaking to a prisoner in of a prisoner they had taken from one of the Blue Blades vessels. They were led down over to the dungeons to meet this prisoner, one Alphonsus Grent, who recognized Captain Phineas but called him Sterut. That is where we are going to pick up. So, we're with Phineas, Aldris, and Black, who are currently stood outside of a jail cell with one Alphonsus Grent. He's slightly haggard now, but blonde-haired half elf who's got a couple of scars going on. He looks like a pretty boy who's now seen a few years of action, so is no longer as pretty. And he's kind of moved back away from you, seeing you, Phineas.
Is he quite a big bloke? No.
No, he's a wiry little elf.
Right. Okay.
Um, what did he used to do, or what do I know that he did?
You remember him being kind of hired on, and he initially became Kaishun's gopher, basically.
Right.
Kind of like almost an understudy. He had a bit of a mean streak to him that Kaishun did nothing to suppress. And he didn't really like you very much. And he very much fell on Kai's side when it came down to it.
Well, if the cell is open, I'm just gonna stroll in.
The cell is locked, but the devil can open the door for you.
Is he restrained in any way?
His hands have been bound by rope.
Okay.
And he's kind of looking at you with disbelief, Phineas.
Yeah, I'll sort of stand there quite tall, just outside, sort of arms crossed. Brent.
How are you alive?
Well, and I'll gesture at the fellas behind me.
I shall step around the captain. Hello.
He doesn't really take his eyes off of Phineas, but he does kind of register your presence.
I'm 6'3", built like a twig, and I'm really very ugly.
Yes. But he's still
Disturbingly so.
eyes locked on Phineas. So
Hello. My name is Aldris. Aldris Benoit. Very pleased to meet you, young man. So, I believe our captain here has some questions for you. I'd say that was very rude of you not to answer me or even acknowledge my presence. Something that not very many people get to do.
first, we were told you were dead.
Excuse me.
Kai said that you drowned. So how are you here standing today?
Maybe I didn't drown that day.
I should just
How?
look across at Lack and go,
We watched you swim out to sea. There's no way you could have survived that.
Evidence to the contrary, perhaps.
Clearly, I have died and have come down to some kind of underworld where I get to be, where I have to put up with you now. Because, I mean, look at the fella next to you.
hello.
Yes. This is Aldris. You should at least be polite.
He kind of gives you an offhand, like, I'm begrudgingly doing this kind of nod, and but he's still focused
I
on.
mean, that's fair. You don't really have to worry about me. I am the least of your problems in this particular world.
This, however, this is my friend Lack. He's going to be the biggest of your problems today,
Absolutely.
whether you believe to be in an underworld or not.
Oh, another Zopteran. You really have changed. Kai was right.
I'm
Mr.
sure he
Lack.
was.
I don't think this gentleman is showing the proper respect to our captain. I wonder if you could maybe encourage him to be more friendly towards us. Is that a thing you can do, Mr. Lack?
I can talk to the man.
Very well. Please.
Can say, which would you like to prefer? I'll take out a stiletto. Do you like pointy objects that go through things? I'll bring out my onyx dagger. Or do you like slicey things that make things rot? Or would you like to prefer to play Zopteran roulette? I'll bring out a ring. Because this will be more fun, but it gives you a chance of luck. Either way, there will be a lot of pain involved unless you talk.
So,
I've worked with demons. I'm not scared of you.
well, you see, if I may interject, sorry, Mr. Lack, I know you like to talk at length about the things you're going to do, but may I make a quick suggestion? Sorry, your name was Mr. Grant, was it not?
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. We're getting along famously already, I can tell. Mr. Lack is the direct persuasion. What I suggest you do to avoid playing with Mr. Lack's toys would be to answer any questions that may be asked of you. Perhaps concerning your former masters, the Blue Blades. Why did they
Zero,
attack this?
Zero, do you think I've never been interrogated before?
Oh, no, I'm fairly certain you have.
These crack jobs that you've got working for you. As I say, I was right. You never could have led.
I do. I just took a different route.
Well, you have a couple of planks of wood nailed together. Delusional.
Oh no, I'm very rich. Look at my dashing outfit.
It is sartorial elegance itself. I hope you'll agree.
But you also know, despite me knowing you have been tortured for information before, you also know that everybody breaks eventually. You will be no exception. We don't really have any time limits. I mean, it's up to you.
I ain't helping you.
Black, over to you.
Thank you, Captain. I'll turn to the guard and say, could you bring a table down, please, and some more rope?
She kind of nods and
Well, whilst
steps to the side for a moment.
Whilst we await Mr. Lack's request, perhaps you'd like to reconsider. You could, I don't know, talk to us like a proper gentleman, and nothing bad could happen.
You should probably keep your pet zombie on a leash, Zaru.
Pet zombie.
Might spread rabies.
That's interesting. I've never actually been called a zombie before. People do tend to run away screaming, though. That's an interesting reaction you have, to be more aggressive, which is intriguing. I quite like you. But as for a leash, I'm not sure I would enjoy that. So, I believe the captain asked you a question.
I'm not sure I did yet.
Oh, I do apologise, Captain. If you would care to ask the questions, and then we can do what we want with him afterwards.
Absolutely.
I am quite hungry.
Perhaps the name of zombie will stick.
It could do. Perhaps I could be Aldris Zombie Benoit, Scourge of Liars and Thieves. And I quite like that. What do you think, Mr. Grant?
So what is Kaishin's plan? I mean, what's been going on? Why the Blueblades being so aggressive?
Making money.
Making money. You always made money.
Needed more.
For what?
Why would I tell you that?
Well, that's kind of why we're here, isn't it?
Oh dear.
The gentleman is very amusing. He finds your jokes amusing, Captain. That's very good. It's always good to know when somebody finds you amusing. I've often found
I just find it so funny to hear someone calling you captain.
Okay.
It'll fit in there.
He's the captain of the ship. What else am I supposed to call him? That makes no sense.
At this point, you hear a knock on the stone, and you see the porcelain skin devil has returned.
Ah, Mr. Lack, your equipment has arrived.
I
This
think
is
We can move him to another room if you wish.
I don't mind if you put the table in and then manhandle him onto it and
Okay.
screen him.
And she just lifts this table up with one arm, walks it in, places it. And you see Alphonsus kind of flinch a bit as she turns to him. She just grabs him by the scruff of the neck and lifts him and just chucks him onto the table.
If you could tie his arms and his legs, restrain
She
him.
lets out a whistle, and you watch a rope uncoil from her belt, slither up the side of the table, and basically tie itself around his legs to the table, whilst the one binding his hands seems to extend and tie it to the table as well.
That's a very good trick. I like that. You'll have to teach me.
And she
that one
walks
day.
back out and retakes her post.
She's nice. I like her.
I thank you.
Very helpful.
And I'll sort of hover down to his feet, make sure to take his boots off and prepare his feet for some work.
Oh, great. Am I getting a
A pedicure.
full pedi then?
Yes. Mr.
Which
Lack
do-
is famous for his pedicures.
Which do you prefer? Your feet, your toes, or your fingers? Which do you think is more useful to you?
Oh,
I'd keep my fingers, wouldn't you, Aldous?
I think I would. I think I'd definitely want to keep some of my fingers. At least some of them.
At least this one.
Yes, possibly even these ones. Who knows? But the gentleman doesn't seem to want to answer, Mr. Lack, so I think you have choice.
Okay.
Unless,
Well-
of course, Mr. Grant, you wish to choose just now.
I don't care.
You don't care.
I don't care what you do to me.
He doesn't care.
With
You're not
20
going to-
digits to choose from, perhaps some sort of dice game.
What a brilliant idea.
Captain, do you want this fast, or do you not mind if I take my time?
You take your time, Lack.
Very well.
Please enjoy yourself.
And I'll take my stiletto and start inserting it through the sole of his foot.
Okay.
Very slowly.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a quick look at your stat block. So your
Well, I'm not very strong.
No, I'm checking something else. Okay. What I'd like you to do is make an intimidation check with advantage for me, please.
I'm wondering at what point I start rolling Constitution saving throws.
I'm not very good at intimidation because I'm a little dragonfly. But we'll see what. Oh, natural 20 for 23.
Okay.
Lovely.
That was 23, yeah?
Yeah.
Oof. He lets out a scream of pain, and Phineas just kind of, after it happens, you just hear behind you a slight chuckle. And he's there's a lot of blood coming out of his foot.
So, Mr. Grant, are we reconsidering our interaction with the captain at all?
Just, yeah.
No, you're going to have to use more words than that. I don't quite understand.
He kind of tries to kind of wrestle himself free of the ropes, but is struggling.
Okay, I'll remove the stiletto, not too gently, and I'll do the same thing to the sole of the other foot.
Just before
Okay.
you do that, I want to cast
yeah.
Bane on him.
Okay.
So, charisma
I'll make
saving throw.
charisma save.
15.
Oh, hold on. No, I've changed my mind, actually. So
He gets
do
a
the
4.
same first.
He gets a 4, so he is Bane
He's
for
now
10
Bane.
minutes.
Okay.
Okay. What
So what do you want to do, like?
I will then cast Cure Wounds on his foot,
Okay.
and I will do the other foot.
Okay. Make a fresh intimidation check with advantage.
Oh no, I don't use those for intimidation.
I'm going to hurt you and heal
That's
you
hilarious.
and hurt you more.
22 this time.
22.
Nice. Don't forget to take his D4 off.
I have. I'm
Excellent.
rolling wisdom saves for him
You see,
against this.
I can do
And
this over and over. I can hurt you, and I can heal you, and I can hurt you, and I can heal you. You will.
he got a 0, so he is screaming in pain. And Aldous, if you're close to his head, you can see tears.
I should just bend in very close to his face so he can see me. So, Mr. Grant, wipe away those little tears and tell me the answer to the captain's question, if you please.
0, get your fucking zombie and its fly off of me.
Oh, Mr. Lack doesn't belong to anyone. Mr. Lack is his own person. That's quite rude.
Fucking.
He will never stop, Grant. And I'm going to lean in, just sort of Aldris on the shoulder to like give a nod in and just go, Grant. It doesn't have to be this way. Just sort of stick a hand on his shoulder. Just let's have a conversation. Just talk it through, and I will call back off. And I'm going to try and cast Charm Person on him.
Okay. What's the save on that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Can I? Oh no, it's ability checks. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm just going to check the wording on that. Spell. My own reference. Regard you as a friendly acquaintance.
But it does have to take a D4 off.
Yes,
Even
I
though
have
it has
just done that.
advantage.
8. So he fails. Charm comes into effect. And he kind of relaxes a bit. Black, do you maintain your position of your dagger?
Yeah, I'll just leave it as it is while the captain's doing stuff. I'm not going to move anything.
Fine, Zero. Just get him to stop.
Lack, if you could just remove any daggers and healing wounds.
And I'll slowly bring the stiletto out.
He kind of looks at you, almost expecting a question, Phineas.
So, what's the idea behind the aggressive expansion into the ocean?
It's getting more ground, isn't it?
More ground.
Pirates are fucking minted. So why not take some of their shanty towns and start ramping the taxes up like they do? Easy enough. I think so, at least.
It's as simple as that, just more money, more territory.
Yeah.
Little more. But you must realize that the pirates will unite against you. I mean, the attack here was an awful idea.
Yeah. Well, not entirely certain that this was his target.
What was Kai really aiming for?
I think
Was
he
there
sent
something
us not
here
to
he
die.
wanted? Oh. Well, you certainly have great loyalty towards somebody who wishes you death.
Yeah, well. Speak one too many times about his new friends, and if I can. Well,
New friends.
you know how he can be.
I know very well how it can be. What new friends?
Make a persuasion check with advantage for me.
Persuasion.
My rolls for him are just atrocious, and Bane is not helping.
Oh no! It was only 28 with a natural 20.
Oh,
He's-
so sad.
He's been expanding his network. I mean, I didn't even realise we had safe houses in the other cities. And then he tells me that we're working with merchants. Okay, fine. And then one day I see this creepy looking dude in a hood walk in. And obviously I'll get the guys up in arms. And Kai comes and slaps us around a bit. Says it's a new business venture. Working with this what are they called? These Olo people.
Oh, fuck. I knew you were going to say that.
You
The
familiar
cult,
with them?
the Grand
Zuri?
Hollow or something.
Yeah, something like that. Didn't like the look of them. They were a bit too.
Psychopathy, wishing for the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially that girl. What was her name? Lily. She was a right piece of work.
What was her name?
Oh, fucked if I know. Lily Banana, something like that.
Lily Banana. Lily something, though.
That's what he said.
And possibly our ex-crewmate, Lily.
Oh, that one. You're a hitch. Okay.
But, we're making money. So what?
Well, over-ambition has been the downfall of many a great man.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
you're downfall and all.
yes. Quite. Aldris, Lack, any other questions?
Oh, glad you asked, Captain. So, Mr. Grint, I see you and the Captain getting along famously. That's all we really wanted to happen. You know, it's a lovely place to be. So this expansion of yours with the Grand Hollow, was there any particular place that you were aiming to be kings of, as it were?
Don't know. I don't like this guy, Zaru. He's a bit.
Oh, I'm absolutely fine. Don't worry about me. Anything the Captain tells me to do, I will do immediately.
Right. Make a persuasion check.
Certainly. It's 27.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Sure.
was there any particular place that you were going to set the Grand Hollow up with, or was there a plan?
No. He just talked about this cult giving us some support, like, you pirates have got with your gods.
Right.
I didn't think much of it. I never really took into it. A couple of the boys did. And they always came back a bit weird,
You say came back. Where did they go?
Well, they went off, supposedly, to train with this cult. And they come back. They always looked a bit paler than before.
Right. And where was the training ground?
Fucked if I know.
Is he telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
18.
18. Yeah, that response gives you a strong sense of he didn't care to find out.
So, where can we find Kai at the moment, would you think?
No, probably out on one of his new boats.
Oh, he has some new boats. That's interesting.
Yeah. He kind of turns to Phineas. Yeah, he bought a load off this merchant dude. Fucked if I can remember his name. Human fella, but spoilers. No, hang on. I've got this from my other D&D campaign. There we go. Talking about an attack somewhere, but I don't know. He's been jetting off all over the place.
Does he have a particular base of operations he comes back to?
I mean, we're still pretty much in charge of Tal Hazar. If that's what you're asking. Not much has changed. Dug a new bar. Usual.
Now, not so long ago, there was an attempt on my life on my ship. Something was taken from me that day. Do you know anything about this? Something large and egg-shaped.
Don't forget your D4.
Egg.
Hmm.
Kai was going on about an egg. Said he'd finally rustled it. Said the cult. I think he said the cultists paid us a tidy sum for that one, but never told us where they took it.
Okay. Is there anyone else, anyone who perhaps is still in Talcazar that may know more?
I mean, Kai made it abundantly clear that he wasn't going to let what happened to Check's notes. Oh, I should have had this right up on my screen ready for.
The previous leader?
Yeah, I'm kind of just trying to find it. Lazar.
Lazar.
Made it pretty clear he wasn't going to let what happened to Lazar happen to him. So, no second in commands, shit like that.
It may well yet come his way.
Sure.
Perhaps that's something you'd care to assist with, as he sent you to your death.
You really think the devil's going to let me have it?
If it benefits him.
I mean, we could always arrange for you to disappear.
Make a persuasion check. And Aldris make a persuasion check as well.
Okay.
DC is going to be quite high for this.
23. I rolled
21.
Nah. I'm not down with joining any pirate crews, but I certainly don't want to be in here.
Captain, if I may have a quick word. Pull Phineas to the back, out of earshot, and say, now, if you so desire, I can make this man invisible. And we can take him out of here. It's entirely up to you.
Good to know. We'll see if we can get any. I don't think we're going to need to take him with us. I don't think he'll help on the outside. But,
so it's a job for Mr. Lack.
Yes, I think so.
Very well.
Did he get?
Actually, just to double check, PM. Was
Yes.
there orders from the boss upstairs of what to do? Like, it was just get some information for him. They didn't want to keep him alive, did they?
You're not sure what Lord Bazorn really wanted. He just kind of wants you to get revenge on the Blue Blades for him. And he'll pay you well for that. So,
Okay. I will take that as I choose then. So then, Grant, if you're not going to offer any support outside of this cell, and you have nothing more to tell us, is this conversation done?
yeah,
Is he,
just fucking kill me.
is he telling the truth about that?
Mm.
Does he, in
Make
fact,
an insight check.
know some more? Come on, Dice, stop fail me now. Ah, fucker. 14.
Oh, 18.
That seems to be kind of it. Pretty much, he's told you pretty much everything that he thinks that you don't. He's told you everything he thinks you don't know already, Phineas. Like, he's not bothering with stuff like, oh, well, the base is here and stuff like that. But that seems to be all he really knows about what Kai is planning.
Well, Grant, it was nice in a way to catch up with you. I suppose. I mean, you're always a prick, but whatever.
Well,
Mr. Lack, you could make it quick.
Yes, Captain. I'll just fly above him, the stiletto point above his heart, and just pierce it through.
okay, I'll say that that can happen. That will happen. He doesn't really resist. Kind of look like he'd given up.
It'd be very quick and relatively painless. No, not that I'd know.
I will say one extra detail, Phineas. You remember that guy being real devoted to Kai when you last saw him. So, you no longer have a prisoner. You have a corpse on a table.
I am just disappointed, Captain, that I didn't get to try out my rings. My
I
soft
know.
rings.
I actually had the stat block for that up, ready, just in case.
So did I. I was planning to play Zopter and roulette with him and sort of blow off his fingers, his hands, and then his feet until he talked, but just gave in so quickly. It only took 2 stiletto stabs through the soles of his feet.
Yeah, who knew?
You healed them afterwards. What was he complaining about?
Yeah.
Wimp.
Yeah.
What was the devil's name that was escorting us down here? I forgot.
Never given a name
We
for her.
didn't. Okay. Excuse me. We have finished with this one. He's a bit of a mess.
Certainly.
You can.
She
take
kind of
your
looks
ropes-
in, smiles, and
You
then
can take your ropes back. That's a very good trick. Where did you learn that?
she whistles and they snake back and kind of flip into 2 loops on either side of her belt.
That's very nice. I like that.
I think Quarantine might be interested in that.
You think so? Snaky ropes that do as you're told? Well, I suppose so. I
Well.
suppose they could reach the parts other people could not reach.
Okay,
Like
well,
really high up and stuff. What?
yes.
Yes, that's what I was getting.
It would be excellent for, mooring and things on a ship.
Exactly, pulling things tight through crevices, that sort of thing.
She kind of reaches down, pulls this whip off the side, off from behind her, and just cracks it, and then puts it back, and then resumes her watch position.
That was an interesting noise. Very good. So, Captain, orders.
Well, let's report back upstairs and then head back to the ship.
As you will.
I think we need to talk with the officers.
So, as you're being escorted out and back up to the stairs, we'll turn our gaze back to the ship. What are the rest of our crew up to? Let's carry on.
We're helping on land, aren't we? I was helping repair stuff and everything.
Everything's kind of coming back together. You can see a couple more boats arriving. You see one of them, this relatively small, probably a sloop like yours, but it has this on the front. It's got this ramming attachment that looks like the jaws of a shark. Very brutal looking ship. They're kind of pulling in and coming to assist, but everything's kind of ship shape now and returning to a bit of peace.
Depending on what the shape of them are like, I'd probably go around any ballistas what are on key side and help load them up, ready for anything what could happen.
kind of go through. There's a couple of ballistas. There's a few cannon in some of the fortified sections. They seem to be in decent nick now.
Cool. Yeah, and then I would head back to the ship, but I'd probably head back to the sort of like mainland part, the key heading, and just wait for the captain and everyone else to get back.
Okay. What's anyone else doing on the ship? Quarantine, Eyeless, Kirkin, Vulcan?
I'm still in the town because I set up the triage station, didn't I? So I'm just making sure and taking care of the wounded.
You kind of get there. It's make a medicine check for me, just quickly.
Yeah, that'll do. 26.
26. It's difficult because you're not super used to the kind of the healing process with devils, but it kind of gets there. You're kind of helping to mend spines and click bones back into place. And after some work, you're able to get things, get everyone pretty much sorted. You see a few people are kind of carrying some of the dead bodies away and starting a bonfire.
I think something else what Klein might do as well. I know he jumped in to have a look at the ship, what was askew underwater,
Yep.
towards it. He'd probably go back in to the sea and have a look for any more wreckages, specifically anything what may have looked like maps or anything like that, to see if they were stupid enough to have like we started here and we've got to go here type thing.
Mine actually keys into this because I was going to put on the talk and go exploring with Detect Magic on.
Yeah, sure. Both of you make perception checks for me, please. As you're kind of swimming around.
Yeah, I can help. I'll make one. Jesus Christ, dice over there. But I'll obviously help Quarantine do the swimming underwater and that.
18 for me.
18.
Mine was 17.
17. Okay. You kind of say swimming around. You can see like a couple more wrecks. But you also keep finding. What was that one you got, Quarantine?
18.
18. You kind of find a few shards of wood and metal that look burnt and damaged, and still seem to have this faint trace of evocation magic on them.
If it's giving off a magical vibe, I will collect them up, put them in a little pouch. Well, it depends how big they are.
I'd pick them up.
They vary from like, kind of that big to you find kind of like part of the mast that's like a couple of meters long. That's been.
I'll just pick up most of the smaller bits if they're emanating the same sort of magic.
Yeah, they all kind of have this residue of magic lingering on them.
Anything with the wreckages, if obviously I know the layouts of ships and everything, if there was any maps or anything like that, which may still be.
No signs of any maps or anything like that. The ships that are wrecked. What was your perception? You got 17?
17, yeah.
17. You do kind of notice that a couple of the ships have got large holes in the sides. Kind of one of the ships on the left-hand side of the bay has got a large kind of hole missing from the side of the deck, and the ship on the right-hand side seems to have kind of wrecked, and the mast has split, kind of like that almost.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of resting.
The hole in the side, it doesn't. Does it look familiar to cannons, or does it look more that it was there before they came here?
Make a carpenter's tools check. So make a check with your strength and proficiency, because this would fall under kind of like understanding woodworking and stuff like that, and shipbuilding.
21.
21. No, that's not cannon impact. it looks like someone has not stored their cannon's gunpowder properly, and it's detonated on the ship. Except, from the shape of it, it looks like it detonated outside the ship.
Outside the ship. Okay. I'll take that, and I'll kind of give. I mean, I can speak underwater, so it doesn't matter. But I'll give sort of like Quarantine a look and kind of like tap on the shoulder and up again if she's running out of breath.
I got a magical talk on, so I can breathe underwater indefinitely at the moment.
Oh, I didn't know that. Klein didn't know that. I don't think anyway.
You occasionally see like a small stream of bubbles kind of come up from Quarantine's neck.
Okay.
Bearing
Well,
in mind how long I was on the Elusive Tide for before and how well I knew the captain, can I look around the wreckage to see if I can find any places that would usually be used as like hidey holes on certain vessels?
Make an investigation check for me.
Six.
These ships look quite cheaply built.
yeah.
Okay. If there's nothing else that pings out for my detect magic, then I will come up.
Yeah, you surface. And as you're heading back to the boat, Kirkin.
Quarantine will do the whole flicking the hair back as she comes out the water, you know.
Of course.
Kirkin, Balkin, are you two up to anything?
Smacking Klein in the face as he surfaces behind her. No, I would have been following Klein around when he was still doing repairs, and when that was done, just wandered back to the ship to wait more orders.
Okay. Make a perception check for me, please, Kirkin.
Perception. Ooh, 19.
Good to know. Balkan, what are you up to?
Was
I would have gone below decks and I would have got the following 4 mops and 4 brooms. And then I would have gone onto the deck and I would lay them out. I would shift into a giant octopus and then proceed to tails and mop the floor all at the same time.
Okay. There's a few kind of like voices kind of like in amazement looking up at you. You hear a few shouts, and Klein and Quarantine, you kind of, as you're kind of getting out of the water onto the dock side, you hear these shouts. You look over, you see a giant octopus on your ship, and you see the dockmaster and a few guards drawing their swords and heading towards your ship.
Yeah, I would have done one better, I was going to say, than Quarantine just getting out of the water and shaking the whole hair. Klein would have been Klein of what he normally does and jump straight onto the key heading.
Yeah.
And I get up. What was the key master's name?
The key master, their name, if I can find it.
Xanath.
Zool.
Xanath, yes. That would be it.
And then Klein would be like, Xanath, don't worry, friendly, he's one of ours. He just sometimes like different animals and all of that.
You have a child of the Kraken on your ship. We're going to go and slay it.
It's an octopus, not a kraken or child of one. It's actually it's Balkin. He sometimes bear, sometimes octopus, sometimes whatever he wants to be.
Persuasion check for me, Klein.
God, I think mine's shite. It is 0.
Big roll.
Stanif, darling,
11.
please leave it to
11.
us. We know this particular octopus.
Would I be anywhere near the dock at this point, making my way back?
Make a perception check for me, Silas.
That's a 15.
He's a member of our crew who just happens to be a shapeshifter.
What was that, Silas?
26.
As you're kind of wrapping up, you hear shouts of Kraken! Kraken! Let's go kill the fucker.
Silas just growls because he knows what it is and walks towards the dock, and all you'll see literally at the bottom of the gangplank to our ship is just this sort of silver beam of moonlight just erupt.
What's the range on Moonbeam?
120 feet.
120 feet. Okay, yeah. It kind of writes, and you hear the fuck,
And
coming from both Xanath and Proshka, who are about to get down to it.
So Eyeless would just walk at you, or you see just silver blazing from his eyes and his staff walking towards the dock.
Okay.
Seriously, Zenith, call off your friends.
You can see a couple of people are racing towards the ballista down the end of the dock.
None of that.
I will be singing like a song in Octopus while I'm cleaning the deck.
Make a performance check for me, please. Welcome.
Ooh, pretty good. Performance. 19.
19. Okay. So at this point, you'll kind of hear this octopus screechy singing. It's very strange, and you hear more shouts of Kraken.
And Klein will just be like, oh, Xanath, like, I know testing times, call everybody off, but one question. Have you ever seen any Kraken or octopus clean this chip of a deck with brooms and mops? Just saying, come on.
I don't know what the fuck they get up to over in Karn's.
They definitely don't do that.
Playground.
And stay in the sea. It's fine. Call them off, please. It's one of ours. Bulkin. Come back to your normal form, please.
Can I use Gus to blow the people away from the ballista?
Is there a save for them to make?
It's a strength save of 18.
A couple of them are kind of pushed back. What the fuck? But one of them's kind of powering through towards the ballista.
I'm going to let lightning crackle through my fingers and walk up to him and say, if you shoot that thing, I'm going to electrocute your testicles. Are you clear?
By this point.
What are you? Some kind of Kraken hugger? They're monsters meant to be killed, love.
That particular one is not a monster. He is a member of our crew. And right now, I care more about him than I do about your testicles.
But at this point, Eyeless is stood directly behind them, and they can just see this pulse coming from him. Now,
Xanath slowly turns around and looks at you.
Now, I'm not particularly the violent sort, but if you lay a finger on my friend who happens to be a druid and can change his form, I will drown you in moonlight, and you will burn and scream your last to Aliaria. Do
Make an
you
intimidation check
understand?
for me, please. Make an intimidation check for me, please.
Fucking hell, natural 20.
They kind of look at you, and they snap their fingers, and the magic aura from you just fades. And they go, "You just have to say that they are a druid. Get them to stop. We kill squids here." And they just barge past you back onto the dock, and things begin to calm.
As the guy who's still at the ballista goes to leave, I'll just sort of tap him on the shoulder and give him a little, static shock. As a warning.
Klein will just go up to Xanath again and be like, look, I am so sorry. Like, Testing times, I know,
Keep
we're trying
your-
to keep everybody safe.
Keep your
But
shiny one in check as well. I don't like him.
they come as a pair. He's actually quite nice, but serves a purpose, as we know, with all God-loving folk. And yes, I know, but we're all cool. We're fine, yeah, right, Xanath? And they'll
Grunts
give
and walks off to go and attend to other duties.
And as he does that, I'll just give him a pat on the shoulder and start walking back to the ship. That was so cool, Eilith. Like you were pumped up and ready to go. That's like I am when we're in a fight. Love it.
Nobody touches Falcon.
I know.
And he goes up on deck and sort of uses the whistle.
Balkan, make a perception check for me, please.
Perception. Oh, I'm good at perception. 16.
16. You hear the whistle. What you choose to do is up to you.
I'm having quite. I'll roll for it because I'm having fun. Okay. The octopus looks sad and reverts out forward.
Yeah. It was just the clatter of mops falling to the deck.
Now, Balkan, darling, I'm very sorry to have to call you out of your form, but
I was pleading.
I know, and I love you for it, but these cretins were going to kill you because you embodied a child of the Kraken. So, while we're in port, ask before you do it.
I've
Please.
never asked before. I just.
Well, I don't particularly want you to get harpooned again.
Well, neither do I. But, like.
While we're on the ship and while we're out at sea, that's fine. Do as you please.
I am on the ship.
Unless the captain tells you otherwise. But while we're in port, even if you're on the ship, please don't do that again.
What if I'm on the other side of the ship, the starboard side?
It doesn't matter. If we're in port, do not do it. Please.
But what if the ship's run the other way?
Falcon, I don't want you to get harpooned. Please do not wild shape while we are in port.
Oh, I get harpooned once and you never let me hear the end of it.
Yes, because you nearly died.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
nothing. You nearly died, and if I hadn't come along, you would be dead.
Yeah, but you did and I'm not.
Exactly. I may not be there next time.
You weren't here. Okay. What's a child of a Kraken?
It's one of the other gods, and he's all pendically and
Yeah, Ilis, make a religion check for me.
I could do tentacles. Do you want me to show you?
religion check. Yeah. Do I? Okay, that's just a straight roll. 12.
12? I mean, yeah, that lines up. Calm. You know that the followers of Marquez don't like calm, and you saw a ship with a shark figurehead sailing in.
Yeah.
So,
These lot don't like the tentacly one, so please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, do they like other forms?
As it stands, just stay in your current form until we leave port, please. Yes, I know. It's exasperating, but I'm trying to keep you alive.
Okay. Did you have fun?
Manner of speaking, I got to
I
do-
saw your light thing.
Yes, that was me threatening them not to hurt you.
Right, okay. I like it when you use the moon stuff. I mean, it's much better than the moon stuff I can do, but...
I mean, I like the moon stuff too, but yes, it was... Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, are you sure I can't? Because I can clean this ship a lot quicker if I am in a form. I won't go into the Child of Kraken form.
Not while we're here.
Can we leave then? Can you go and tell the captain to leave?
Well, we'll leave when the captain says it's time to leave.
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, Balkan.
Right. Speaking of our captain, we'll jump back to you. The devil leads you back up the stairs and into the room, and you see Lord Bazorn with this absolutely huge grail, just kind of perusing his trophy cabinet of heads.
All the way back up, by the way, Aldris is trying to talk to the devil and get her to show him how she does the rope trick.
Completely ignoring you.
That's fair. Still going to stop him trying, but you know.
Make a charisma check for me. See how annoying you are.
A straight charisma check, yeah. Okay. I mean, 12, quite annoying.
12. She mostly ignores you.
Okay. No, that's fair.
So you come back in and you can see that he's kind of standing there, this huge green blob of a creature. Oh. So, I trust things went well.
Yes, I think so. I think we got the information we needed. Things are more serious than we expected.
How so?
The Blue Blades seem to be in league with a cult set on the end of the world.
Do you know which one?
The cult of the Grand Hollow.
As you say that, the grail that he's holding shatters, and you just see blood just dripping down his arm.
Oops.
That was once in that grail. He kind of drops it to the side. You see a servant kind of peer out and kind of swift it all up and run off back into hiding. Consider my bounty to you added on top. Bring me the head of this Blue Blades leader and the head of any cult leader you find, preferably with the worm still in it.
Lack, are you listening to this?
Yes, Captain.
At this point, the doors open, and you see another servant kind of running in, runs up to Lord Bazorn, and he's holding this object under a cloth. Bazorn looks at it, nods, but he walks over to the cabinet, fumbles with some keys, gets the door open, and on one of the empty spikes places Alphonsus's head on it, closes the door and locks it, and scurries off.
We made sure not to disturb the head at all for you.
It seems to go quite well with the other ones there. Well, they're very, very artistically placed.
So, is there anything I can provide to Captain Phineas of the Elusive Tide?
Like what? Are you offering ship upgrades? Probably not in this climate.
Oh. The Blue Blades may be many things, but they are not sailors. They didn't attack our shipyard at all. They're focused on the fortifications, like fools. And then... they truly were incompetent. One of their ships exploded. Apropos of nothing. Or, should I perhaps say, one of my imps and their gunpowder stock. Our dockyards are open for your use, and I am sure that I can get my people to work a bit faster for you.
Excellent to hear. Well, with that then, be on our way.
Hmm.
Brought back with as many heads as we can carry.
I will be planning an extension to my cabinet. So the very same. But you best hurry. Apparently a kraken has been spotted in the dock.
Well, let's get a piece of this. Gentlemen.
Waves the door open. You're escorted out and back down the stairs and away. As you kind of walk through the city, the shanty, you get out to the docks and you see the Elusive Tide with a giant squid on it.
I don't want to worry you, Captain, but perhaps the kraken being referred to was in fact Balkan.
Yes, probably.
Interesting.
You then see a flash of bright silver light near the gangplank, and then hear a piercing whistle, and the squid disappears.
Oh, Ilas has it under control, at least.
So it would appear.
So you head back to your ship and can all convene on the deck.
What's the plan then,
What
Cap?
would you like to do?
The spotless deck.
Except for, the
Octopus slime.
cephalopod slime.
As I come back on the boat, I would sort of pat Balkan on the head and then go and find somewhere to sit down and get my monocular of identification and start going over these wooden bits that I
Why
picked
did you
up on
pat
the
me
road.
on the head?
Just making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
As you use the monocular on one of the pieces of ship, you just get some traces of the remnants of the fireball spell. So, yeah. You suspect that something exploded violently and magically.
Definitely looks
Okay.
like they were suicide ships, Captain. Big old hole in the side of one of them. Looked like it from the outside as well, so maybe they tried to just blow it up from the outside with the gunpowder.
Well,
I suspect what blew it up was a really great fireball hitting the side of it.
that'll do it.
From what I can gather from these remnants.
But they're all set up. Ballistas are repaired, cannons are loaded, so they should be set up for at least another attack if they're a bit more prepared this time.
Well, I actually have something to discuss with, well, probably you lot and a few more. Can we have, and I'll list off the names of all of you lot.
Yeah.
In my office.
What?
Okay.
Am I an officer now?
Right. Ignoring Balkan's comment.
That's fair.
So, it would seem we have a convergence of issues, which at least means we're not fighting on two fronts. Well, sort of still are. But anyway, the Blue Blades have been in cahoots with the Grand Hollow. And it seems that is a part of the marinal expansion of the Blue Blades. So this is something we desperately need to deal with.
Plus,
Not
as
to
a
mention
bonus, we've been given The promise of quite a lot of gold for some heads.
That was my next point, but thank
I
you.
do
Yes.
apologise, Captain. You should, of course, been the one to say that. I apologise.
After all, the promise of gold is always exciting,
It is.
but of course it is also dangerous. So, I propose we head to Tal Hazar to investigate with the blades and see what we can find out there. The leader of the Blue Blades, Kai Shun, is a formidable opponent, and I don't suspect he'll be there by the sounds of it. But hopefully we can find some information and possibly set a trap for him. His head will be worth the most.
I don't suppose with your dealings with these Blue Blades in the past, Captain, you know of any secret hideouts what they used to use, do you?
Yes, of course.
Nicely done.
Just so we're all up to date, I used to be a member of the Blue Blades.
Interesting.
I would
Oh,
assume,
right.
Captain, you would be kill on sight.
I imagine so. But by the sounds of it, from our conversation, we had a conversation with Mr. Grant, an ex-associate of mine. He was not aware that I was still alive. He was very surprised.
And he is also now in the trophy cabinet.
So you could say that you have the element of surprise with these cretins.
I think the captain will, but I'm not entirely sure that the ship will.
How so?
Can we
Well,
disguise the ship?
well, before we met you guys, we were island, big volcano.
Right.
That's when the captain nearly lost his life. If you don't mind me saying, Captain. And we were attacked and robbed by what we just thought were pirates, later to find out to be Blue Blades. So they know the elusive tide is somewhat linked to finding these islands and the Grand Hollow.
And they must know it's linked to me as well.
Well, I didn't. The ones what kind of got you, we killed in the end. Memory's a bit fuzzy. I was a bit angry, and I just went after people what were trying to hurt everybody else.
You, Angry Klein? Surely not.
Well, in like a centralized way, you know what I mean? Like I was.
You are the pinnacle of serenity.
Well, of course, yeah. I like the waters, the waves calm me.
I
I'm
believe
absolutely fine.
the word you're looking for, Mr. Klein, is focused.
Focused,
You were
yeah, that's the
very
one.
focused is what you were doing.
Should
Right.
we pretend to have a different captain then? I don't mean any offence by that.
Well, no, because we could turn this to our advantage. Because if we can kind of somehow disguise the captain whenever we're going to be looking for these.
I've got it.
Any...
Wait for it.
Oh,
How about that?
Who's
my
that?
God,
There's an
where's
intruder
Captain
on the
gone?
ship.
Captain, didn't you get a very,
Inspiration.
didn't you get a particularly nice set of ropes recently?
Did. That could work. Alternatively, I would be expected to show up in nice clothing. I could dress down for the occasion, and we could say put quarantine as captain of the ship while we sail to port.
Or what we could do, Captain, and I cast Disguise Self to look exactly like the Captain. Now there are two of us.
Well, we can all do that, and I'll wild shape into a horse.
And
It's just a horse.
for something you never
Suddenly.
used to
And
see,
then-
you'll back wild shape into a miniature version of the captain. Wild shape disguise self into a miniature version of the captain.
It's like an
And I
ape
will
version of
Cast
Phineas.
mirror image. So there are 3 more captains.
There are 5 Captain Phineases and 1 mini Captain Phineas and
So-
a horse. along with the rest of you now
You see,
in this
Captain,
chamber.
we have options. Let them try to pick the right one out of this lot.
Well, no.
I
Because what
mean, personally, I could do it by smell alone, Aldris.
Don't we want to go the other way with this?
Well, that's
Don't we
exactly
want zero Phineases.
right.
Oh.
Because didn't you say that, like, they all think you're dead, right, from when you left them? So any tales will get back to the Blue Blades from previous encounters we've had with them would be literally like a ghost tale, Cap. They wouldn't take stock in what they say, so presume that they think you're all still dead. So if we could change your appearance, or you hid, like you said, it would be a lot easier.
That's what I thought, yes. I could look like not me, and then there are no Captain Phineases.
Right, sorry, I thought we were trying to confuse people. We must have been...
Well, you've definitely done that, Aldris.
I know. It's one of my skill sets.
And, Balkin, could you go back to being...
Eyeless that just holds out the other whistle that he offered to Phineas before.
I'll be trying to nuzzle Phineas's hat off him to like onto the horse.
Make a dexterity check as the horse for me.
A sleight of hooves checks.
Yeah, sleight of hooves check.
Sorry, did you say dex check?
Yeah, dex check.
12.
I want to see this succeed.
There's this horse kind of nudging your hat, Phineas, and it kind of eventually starts to slip back between your horns and fall off.
And I'll try and reach and snatch the whistle from Milas and give it a sharp toot.
I'll revert out for him, and I'll pick up his hat and go, sorry, Captain.
It's okay, Balkin.
But Vulcan unwild shaped, he was in a position where he was kind of hugging you, Phineas.
Yeah, we're uncomfortably close at the moment. I don't move away.
You can feel Balkin's breath on your neck.
But Captain, you said about their new leader.
You leader? No, he's been in charge since I left.
Well, you said he's not to be messed with, right?
Yes.
In what way? Because I do like a challenge, you know that.
Yes. Well, I mean, he's intelligent and cunning and murdered the previous leader.
A fighter or a spellcaster?
You've never known him to really
Yeah.
do magic.
Yeah.
He's been more of a stab you in the gut kind of guy.
And no magic that I know of. But he also thinks I don't know any magic. Or did.
Well, he didn't know any magic when you left him, and that was how long ago?
8 years. Roughly.
The mirror images start going...
We're down to two Phineas. Two
Oh,
Phineas and one mini Phineas.
They're disappearing.
Yeah,
I thought they were little king.
I mean, they were doing that before they disappeared, and then they just sort of faded out of existence, leaving Aldris as you. I haven't dropped that yet.
So, what we're saying is, we're essentially going into this blind because we don't know what this person's capable of. And what we do know is he's associating with people that want to, for want of a better word, end the world.
It would appear so.
But
Is he seducible?
on the plus side, he doesn't know what we can do.
Quarantine, darling, I don't think you want that kind of worm.
I don't want any kind of worm. I'm more on something a little bit on the larger side.
To answer that, that's definitely a possibility.
Because I can find out information.
Full Black Widow assassin.
Or you may come unstuck like you did with the jewel vendor. And Eyeless has got this devilish grin on his face.
There's 3 Phineas.
One can't seduce everybody, as much as one would like to.
But we know it's going to be more of a challenge anyway, not completely blind if they're with this Grand Hollow cult.
Mhm.
But I suppose it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone.
Perhaps, Silas, we should go in together.
I think we just get there under the guise of a regular trade ship. The Blades certainly used to patrol the docks, and they would basically seize whatever they wanted off incoming trade vessels. We could be prepared for them, and they don't know they're going to board pirates.
Right.
So certainly get a few people, get some information, see where we go from there.
If we're going to do that though, Captain, we need to keep up the guys, like, stuff to trade. So maybe not to Talazar straight away. Maybe somewhere we can plunder first.
Perhaps there are some spices we can buy while we're here or something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, combat scenario. We go in, oh, we've got all of this to trade, and then we got nothing. Kind of gives us away first at the get-go.
We can, I don't know, we've got some statues or something still on board, haven't we? We've got some things to trade.
You've got a robe and a small statuette.
And we got some gems as well.
And a few gems, yeah.
And some gems, yeah.
Oh, excuse me, Captain. I'm still looking exactly like you. Didn't Lord Bazorn offer us some assistance? Perhaps we could
Take him up on it.
take him up on load some cargo on board, perhaps. Just, maybe even just empty boxes. Doesn't really
Maybe
matter,
even-
does it? As long as we've got something on the deck when we sail into port.
All coming together.
It's probably me looking like this that's inspiring me.
Yes, and I'm going to get close and just sort of go,
That is a pretty good job.
I've never seen my chin from this angle.
Doesn't smell right, but looks perfect.
Yeah, if you actually reach out to touch, you'll find that obviously the arms your fingers will pass through until they reach Aldris's arm, which is much thinner.
I'm quite prepared to offer you some help in a disguise if you wish, Captain.
I can help too.
Thank you. Clearly we have some disguising magics, but also I think just
Not
dressing...
magic
No,
disguise.
I think just dressing me down will be fine.
Could
No
of
one's-
course turn you invisible, Captain.
Or that. Nobody's looking for me that I'm aware of. Nobody's expecting to see me. So some blue-skinned tiefling strolling through town isn't, of course, too much of a stretch.
Nobody ever expects to see me either.
Eyeless pulls out sort of like a small platinum ring. Well, he's got a set of 2 of them, and he gives 1 to Phineas. Perhaps you should hang on to this for a while, because I can use that to create a tether between us as
Okay.
a warding bond, and it can help you become more resistant to any sort of damage you may encounter if we do get into some trouble.
Fine. If you want to take damage for me, that's fine. I appreciate that.
So if you just keep a hold of this and slip it on when I tell you to, and then
So, are we going to pretend there's a new captain then? And if so, do we need to pretend that there's a new first mate?
Still trying hard.
Okay. Quarantine, you are temporary captain when we reach Tal Hazar. Balkin, you
Yeah.
can be first mate. He's just
done?
twinkling
What
to
have you
himself with a
done?
big
What have
smile
you
on his
done?
face. He won't
This-
stop laughing.
This sense of instant regret washes over you things.
You hear that? I'm first mate. And that
He
means
did-
I'm going to sleep with you all. I'm joking.
Anybody sort of like right next to Wireless is just gonna be like, oh, this was such a bad idea.
Mhm.
Are we staying here for the night then, Captain?
Yes, I think so. We'll get a good rest. We'll make sure we load up the ship with whatever we can get, and then we'll set sail in the morning.
Right.
I will be back, Captain. I have some things I have to prepare for this subterfuge.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
Before
So,
we all
unless
finish,
anyone's got anyone, go ahead, Philip.
Captain, do you mind if me and Aldous just like stay behind after everyone's gone?
Do you require me as well, or are you just
Right,
using
yes, you too.
me as well?
That
Okay.
was yes.
Which version of me?
Uh,
This one,
Aldous is
obviously.
Aldous, and you as you, Captain.
Oh, right, okay. I'll drop disguise self.
Everyone else dismissed?
There is now one Phineas in the room and a mini Phineas.
No, I've dropped mine ages ago. When the captain got a bit annoyed.
There is now only one Phineas in the room.
And I will disperse and head up to the crow's nest or the fly's nest to keep an eye out.
So everyone else filters out. Klein, Aldous, and Phineas. You three are left in the captain's quarters.
Right, so like I know it's not the most important matter, but before we left the temple, right? Me and Aldous took us to go and see like this grand person up there, right, to get some information. And
Okay.
you know, like I said about this whole test and trial for my trident, which is like my family's and clans thing.
Yes.
Apparently, I've got to find like, and the trident will come out, and he'll show the captain like the 3 indentations.
Three
near the-
indentations at the base of each of the prongs on this trident.
So apparently, I've got to find like 3 gems. Is all we've got so far. But I've got to kind of ask permission, as such. Is that right, Aldous? From like the gods, the different gods of the sea.
Well, I don't think it's really permission, it's just you have to talk to them. And get their boon, as it were, I think.
So, like, if we can do that along the way without causing any harm to the ship or crew, that would be brilliant. And I do think it would make me a little bit stronger if we have to go up against this nutter of a cult leader and your ex-leader as well.
He was never my ex.
Well, you know what I mean. I just think, like,
I know.
if I keep you in the loop, if I go wandering off or diving into the sea or something for some random feeling, it's not like you're gonna wonder what I'm doing type thing.
Okay. I appreciate this is important to you, but the mission as a whole is more important, so don't let yourself be distracted.
Right, no, I definitely won't be, but I'm just thinking like everything just like might align, you see? Because if it makes me stronger and we're trying to stop the end of the world, like win-win type thing.
If you can collect these boons along the way without any major distractions to yourself or the crew, please feel free to continue doing so.
I do. I'll well, I won't do my best. I'll do what I always do. I'll serve you, Captain, serve the ship, and then whatever I need comes second.
Loyalty is appreciated as ever, Colin. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Right, come on, Aldous. Let's go get a drink of rum.
Of course, yes. Why not?
Can I join?
Well, of course, I got like 2 extra barrels when we left as well, so there's plenty for the trip.
Do this.
Okay. So, as the meeting is adjourned and Rum is drunk, we'll take a quick break there.
Sounds like a plan. So, yes, quick break. And we'll be right back after these messages. Thank you. Welcome back. I hand you straight over to our pirate master. Jade, take it away.
So, after a little bit of merriment and drinking rum, unless anyone wants to do anything more that evening, we
Yes.
will. Okay, quarantine.
I would head into town and look for the most. Well, I want to buy a captain's outfit, essentially.
Okay. Let me get my notes up on Deep Horn.
I've sent you a
So
picture
that's
of what
gonna-
I'm looking for and the colour I want.
Wow.
High boots and a tricorn hat, yeah?
Not been
Obviously.
planning this for
Okay.
a while then.
There's been a mutiny, Captain.
Quarantine's the BBEG.
Do an ESA for me. See if you know of any good tailors on Deep Horn.
Yeah, while she's doing that, Ilis would basically have stripped out of his armor, but only leaving the breastplate on. And then he would have sort of donned some other clothes. So essentially, he's got a silk shirt which goes over and just about covers the breastplate. He's got a pair of very sort of flowy silver trousers, and he puts his robe of office back on. And as he walks, it basically just flows out behind him. And he saunters into town to try and find some jewel crafting tools.
18.
18. You're able to find kind of tucked away. It's called the Weaver's Grotto. You kind of go in. It's very dark, and you see a fair amount of kind of like various outfits on display around, and a desk with a small silver bell on it.
I'll have a quick look around, see if there's anything that matches my vision.
Nothing specifically. You can see a couple of the nice overcoats, but they're all in dark reds and blacks. Definitely more devilish stylings.
Ding a ding a ding.
Okay, hang on. Let me just make this. You ding the bell, and silent for a moment. You hear skittering, and you see this head kind of pop down from above you, behind the counter, but above. You see this almost like vaguely humanoid head, but with spider-like features. Great customer, and the head pops back up, and you hear skittering comes down. You see this spider-like creature, a spider half bottom with like a humanoid top, long shaggy black hair, and then this kind of like mandibles and many eyes. Apologies, Fiddy, I should give you a bit more.
I was about to say, do you want to say spiders are like any more?
Say spider
keep
again.
adding in.
Just build on it.
Sorry,
It's cool. It's
you
cool.
see this bunny-like face.
We're back to bunnies.
Um,
Just deafen yourself as well, Fids.
it kind of looks at you, kind of making manners. I'm going to gloss over some description now. How can we help you?
Yes, hello. I'm looking for something very particular. I need to look my best.
Of course.
And then I will describe in detail my vision.
Okay. As you're kind of describing, they're completely raptured by what you're saying, and you can already see like some of their lower arms working away on silk. Yes.
So
We can
yes,
do this.
knee-high leather boots, black
Oh.
silken pants, a nice white silken shirt, and then the overcoat, I want it to be electric blue with silver trimmings. And then
Fantastic.
a hat in black with a silver trim that matches.
Oh, wonderful. Do you want it as revealing as your current?
A little more refined, but don't overdo it.
Of course,
I want to look
course.
sexy but sophisticated.
Do you mind if I take some measurements?
By all
kind
means.
of this flurry. He pulls Fitty to steady himself. Of legs and silk kind of wrapping around you, and then unwrapping. Kind of lifts up a bit, and several of the legs are doing this, and they kind of skitter back down, saying, "Yes, wonderful, wonderful. I can have it for you tomorrow for 100 gold."
Of course. And I will take out 100 gold and put it on the...
There's a small strand of silk kind of attaches to it, and it whizzes off up into the rafters of the building. Wonderful, wonderful. Can I interest you in anything else? They kind of shift a couple of legs, and there's racks of clothes kind of pull out the side of the wall, and you see various fine dresses and suits and all kinds of clothing.
Have you got anything that could perhaps make me look sweet and innocent?
Yes. Kind of, you see the racks kind of ruffle a bit, and you see this kind of like pale yellow pastel sundress brought out. It covers much more, but it is very sweet.
I'm looking for something that will possibly intrigue cultists into wanting to make me into a sacrifice.
Oh. He sends it back and pulls out this floral white dress. Something a bit more tempting.
How much?
For this one, 50 gold.
Would you do me a deal since I bought a whole other outfit from you?
Make a social check.
Natural 20 for 28.
Nice.
Oh, 25 for you.
Wonderful.
Gold is exchanged, and you are given this pretty floral white dress.
I will be back in the morning to collect my marvellous outfit from you.
Yes. You can already see like pieces of leather being brought out by all of these silks. Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to get done before the evening? Before the next day?
I will just be waiting on the deck, waiting for Quarantine to come back.
Okay. You eventually see Quarantine wandering back down.
Hello.
Hello, Balkan.
Where have you been? Captain?
I'm not captain. Not yet, at least.
Where have you been?
Just out getting a new outfit so I can play the part.
Cool. What did you get me?
Desperately scrolling through inventory.
You did get me something, yeah? You wouldn't just go out and get yourself something. Eyeless, when he goes out, he always brings me something back, like a fish or something. And as we're going to be working closely from now on. Why are you just looking in your bags and not looking at me?
I'm just trying to find it for you. And I'll pull out a potion of healing.
I can't wear this. I'm not that stupid.
You can't wear a fish either.
Well, obviously, but you got yourself a captain's outfit, so I want a first mate's outfit.
I'll be right back. And I'll head back to the shop.
It just struck me, this image of Balkin wearing the outfit that Quarantine normally wears, and I can't get it out of my head. Please,
Bearing in mind, I don't normally wear clothes, really. I've just got a shell.
It looks worse.
Just a hat, surely, would have been enough.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the Weavers.
Yeah, you head back towards the Weaver's Grotto, and as you kind of head in, you see that they're engaged with another customer, Eyeless.
Yeah. So he would request and ask to see what their bicorns, and he would basically be taking ownership of this magnificent bicorn hat for that is more or less turtle sized.
Yeah. So they brought down the hat, and they're kind of making adjustments to the leather to kind of stretch it to the size that you're describing. All the while just completely enraptured by you.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea of what he would be wearing, think this, but in shades of silver minus the cravat and just with his breastplate underneath.
All of you are so fashionable for the seas. It's surprising.
He's got his long, sort of white and silver flowing robe of office, just, blowing in the breeze. So,
Yep.
That was 15 gold. So you said that was 15 gold, darling?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm sure my friend will be thrilled.
Oh, yes. Can I interest you in anything? You're clearly a man of taste and culture.
I do believe I'm quite good for clothes at the moment, but if I do need any more, I will certainly return.
Please do. Oh, my friend, you'll come back.
Yes, as I got back to my ship, it occurred to me rather forcefully that I needed to get something for my first mate.
Well,
I was just helping this gentleman with such a thing. I can certainly help you. What are you looking for? A hat or a cloak, perhaps?
Perhaps some kind of sophisticated waistcoat, but for a turtle? Maybe with a cravat?
I would need to meet this turtle to measure him to make it fit.
Do you know his size, Alice?
We can just use the hat from the both of us. It would make more sense, and he's not really the clothes type.
I thought he was going to death glare me when I came back with nothing for him.
Yes.
Perhaps, may I make a suggestion? If a gift for a friend from both of you. And they kind of bring down the hat and give it to you, Eyeless. And they bring down this kind of like dark green feather and give it to you, Quarantine. Perhaps give him pieces of the hat.
Now that he would like.
I can
Thank
change
you.
the color of the feather if you wish. I have many of them. The birds are so tasty.
I do believe green would be his color. Again,
Thank
madam,
you.
thank you very much for your help.
Anytime, please come back once again. You two are so amazing. I wish to see you wearing all of the clothes I make.
I can't wait to try on my outfit tomorrow.
You can already see that some leather has been pressed and the shape of a boot is already formed on the counter behind them.
Yeah. And Iris will just sweep out of the shop.
Silas, darling, wait up. And I'll just sort of link arms with him.
So you're going to look the part, I take it?
Of course. What's the point if I'm not looking my best? A captain always has to look their best, don't you think?
Well, Phineas certainly thinks so.
I thought a little bit more muted, but I don't want to change myself too much.
He basically just stops, holds his arms out, and just looks down and goes, muted. Really? Come on.
Myself, I don't want to give too much away.
Well, that makes a change, doesn't it?
For occasions like this.
Come on. We need a good rest before tomorrow. At least I do, anyway.
Yes. It was a bit of a to-do with Balkan. I did threaten to sizzle some testicles, but
Well,
I think your display was much more noticeable.
let's put it this way. I have some edges, and they found one today. In short, don't fuck with my friend.
I would not dream of it.
In any sense. Come on, let's get back.
As you're walking along, Ilis, you notice first, you see this young human man walking along, and he seems to have a bundle of flowers in his hands. When he sees you, quarantine? And he just kind of freezes for a moment, drops the flowers, and runs off blubbering.
You heartbreaker.
An acquaintance of yours, darling?
I'm assuming that was
That was Arnold.
Oopsie.
I
you
mean,
could say that.
do you want to go after him? Should I go and comfort him?
I think he'd maybe like it if we both did.
Well, there. But he is an acquaintance of yours, yes?
Formally. He's quite deceptive, actually. Not what you would expect from somebody of his looks.
As you two walk and return to the boat, discussing Arnold, Vulcan, you see both Ilis and Quarantine returning.
I would have spent all of that time when they were out just like hopping from one foot to the other and eager anticipation of them coming back.
Yeah.
Looks like he's excited.
Have you ever known him not to be?
When returning from town without him, no. Disappointed, maybe, yes. No, yes. Always excited.
Well, I know now not to make that mistake again.
Even if it's just a small fish, he will be happy.
I'll remember that.
Balkin dear, I need you to close your eyes and stand still for me.
I close my eyes, my hands out, but still sort of tottering from one foot to the other.
And sort of, Iris will place the hat on his head.
You feel something put into your hand, put onto your head, Vulcan?
I've still got my eyes closed.
You can open them.
I can't see it.
So
There's nothing in your hands, Vulcan.
Ilis basically lifts his breastplate off his chest, and Balkin can basically see himself in the breastplate.
And I have something that might give it a little bit more style, and I'll pull out the feather for him.
I'd have the feather and immediately put it in the hat.
It looks fantastic.
Happy.
You look like a first mate.
Eyeless,
Yes.
quarantine. Well, I can't do it to you. Eyeless, you are dismissed.
Thank you, first mate.
yeah. I better start eating sausages when I walk off.
Is anybody getting simple farmer that's just got himself a boat vibe?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just love Martin's look. His boat's been taken up.
I
regret nothing.
Liar.
never
No
should.
regrets. No regrets.
No regrets.
You've now got a member of your crew who's a massive portal in a magnificent hat.
Yes.
Oh dear.
So, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, I'll say that you guys can rest for the evening and awaken in the morning. As you awaken, Kirkin, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
And FYI, you are muted.
Lucy, you got explaining to do.
Everything okay, Kirkin?
I don't think she heard you ask the question.
Yeah. I need a perception check from you.
And
My apologies. I thought you had asked someone else for that.
No.
I was waiting for someone else to get the result.
Okay.
8.
Good to know.
8 down.
So,
Yeah.
it is the morning. What would you like to do?
I would have probably been up early like I normally do. Bit of a workout, checking everything over, all of the rigging, anything like that on the deck. And then would have probably popped down with I've forgotten his name again, but the deck master be about.
Xanath? Yeah, you can go find them if you want.
And I'd be like, "Morning, Xanath. Can I ask a favour, please?
What do you need?
I don't suppose you've got like any empty boxes we can use, can you? Just to make us look a little bit more like a trading vessel rather than a pirate ship."
What do you... There's a flash of green across their eyes. They pause for a moment. Yes, we do. Hold on.
Thank you.
And they make out some calls in Infernal across the
Oh.
deck and
Marvellous. I speak Infernal, so
stop.
it comes into use for once, but you're going to say they say nothing
Yeah.
because you don't want to.
It's like, get a move on, you dicks, grab the spare boxes to the they say to the pigeon ship instead of the albatross ship, but
Yeah.
so
Cool, and-
yeah, start
I'll-
loading some empty
Yes.
crates onto
Sort
the
of
ship.
pick a couple up at a time, take them on, and I'd only sort of like 4 or 5, just so the deck looks as if it's a trading vessel rather than
Yeah.
pirate ship type thing.
Yeah, you certainly can.
And again, just to make it look even more authentic, like everything else I've done with on the deck, we'd just make sure that they're secured tightly.
Okay.
And all of
I'll
that.
say that you can easily do that. That's not a problem.
Cool. And then if Gherkin's about, we'll just run around like the top of the deck and just sort of like point out what I normally do in the morning, or like as we're either setting for sail or in the middle of the ocean, just to make sure everything's okay and safe.
Okay. Okay. So you
just want to
you
talk to the captain, if I may.
yeah, certainly. If you're available, Phineas.
Um,
Morning, Captain.
One of those.
I had a thought. Would it be a good idea do you think, to strike our pennant and maybe steal one of the Blue Blades ones off of that wrecked ship, just as we sail into port under their colours, rather than our own?
It's an idea, but I want to kind of fight them
Our
to.
colours show that we're a pirate ship, don't they? Rather than a trader. Or was your plan to strike our colours completely and just have fly nothing?
I hadn't thought about colours of sails. Assumed it'd all be fine.
Most pirate ships have a flag.
At least a pennant,
they fly.
I would imagine.
Yeah, the pennant flag at the top of the very top mast.
Yeah, I'd have given the orders to anonymise the ship as much as possible.
Okay.
Yep, that's absolutely doable.
Apologies, Captain. I wasn't sure if you'd thought of that, but obviously you're the captain. That's your job. You think of these things. I will take myself elsewhere and make myself useful.
Thank you, Arcus.
Just so we don't come back to this, I'd probably, after getting all of them and seeing, I'll just go up to the captain. I'd be there within like a couple of minutes. Just to add to that, I'd be like, should we take the name of the ship from the sides, Captain, and stow them away? So again, we're just a plain vessel.
Then we gotta sort it out after.
I
Yes,
know
we
we do,
probably should.
but at least like
Anonymise the ship as much as possible. Yes, includes scrubbing the name.
Yeah.
Make up a new name.
right, yeah. What, me personally, or are you gonna
No.
do that?
The captain shall.
Good one.
Right, it got you. All right.
Speaking
And
of the temporary captain, quarantine, you can go and collect your outfit. Easily done.
I did actually think about a new name for the ship.
Perfect.
She's definitely been planning this since day one.
Yeah,
Tell you.
100%. Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to be so careful here.
Been planning it since she purposely passed herself over for captain.
Yeah, long gone.
Memory serves, it was quite a long discussion as to whether Phineas or Quarantine would take captainship.
If Quarantine had wanted it, she would have gone for it.
Well, she is.
I don't know. Mutiny taking over a ship, I think you'd get probably a bit more respect from people doing it that way. So yeah, definitely the long con.
The Storm's Eye for the ship.
Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Quarantine Balkan's ship.
It's too much like Stormzy, and I can't have that. I really can't. Sorry.
I mean,
Stormzy.
it's a bit of an aggressive name for a trading ship, don't you think? How about the Bountiful Harvest or Maiden's Pleasure? Something tradey.
Or We Are Good Pirates.
Perhaps not that. It's a bit piratey.
We Are Not Pirates.
That's very good. It does give us,
Yeah.
but a bit too obvious, I think. We need to be more subtle.
What about like Serenity?
That's good. I like that.
Doesn't point towards us being pirates and kind of like
Something like that, or Wave Rider, or
Or Elusive Tide. Wait, hang on.
Or definitely a trading ship.
Again, a little too obvious, I think. But I am not the acting captain or acting first mate, or the actual
Trading
captain,
ship.
or the actual.
I've
first
got
mate.
one. Trading ship 3, because if you're the third one, you're not as obvious.
Now that I like a lot. Trading ship 3. That's That's my favourite of your
Captain.
suggestions so far.
Captain, either of you.
You have to be specific.
How about the moon dance?
Bit
The
suggestive.
moon
but
doesn't dance.
again, you're kind of aligning yourself with a god there. Need to be a tradey type thing.
Tradership 3.
I mean,
What
it's
about the
best.
entrepreneur's delight?
Indeed.
Maybe like we could be like a fish trading ship, and we could just call it like £1 fish. All fish are like £1 in weight to sell.
Oh dear.
Sorry, that was
silver
really bad,
fish.
folks. That was really bad.
It's fucking
One
awful.
silver fish.
Do you understand now why I had the ship with a name to begin with at the
Yeah.
start of this
Oh, yeah,
campaign?
yeah.
Because I knew that this would happen.
Yeah, but you brought it on yourself. You've only yourself to blame.
I didn't. This is your guys' plan. You decided to do this.
How about rogue trader?
4. Because then it's not obvious.
Yes, that is true.
Book Trader 4.
But like whatever captain and acting captain at the time think of, right, I'll go with. Martin sat there going, for fuck's sake, what have I just done?
It's why I delegated. I don't want to take
Let's go with what Iris said.
Entrepreneur's delight. Okay.
It's quite long to fit on a boat, though.
It's fine. I think I can get that etched into some wood and get it done.
Do you need
Fine.
help with it?
Do you need help with the spelling?
I help.
Oh, no.
No, I've got it. This is me now talking to you. Klein's not that fucking dumb. He comes across like it, but he's not that dumb. Yeah, I think I've got it, and I'll just double check. Maybe like Kirkin's learning a bit of woodwork in that, and seems quite good. So I'll just double check with her. Him.
Oh,
Both of you make intelligence checks for me.
Me or
Yeah, the two of you are working on this.
I'm just saying that Entrepreneurial's Delight could be shortened to Enterprise D. Fucking failure.
I haven't
Yeah.
considered this.
Mine's 13. Unlucky for some. I think Gherkin's now got to make a intelligence check.
How much did you get, Klein, there?
Ooh.
I got 13.
13.
Sorry, I thought that was much worse than it was at first there. I got an 8.
Okay. Good
And my much
to...
worse was also after 1. That's what I thought.
We've got this. It's 21 altogether. It's fine.
It'll just add to the intrigue of it being a really stupid trader if the name is misspelled.
Absolutely.
It's like all of those ships will have that one letter wrong just for a funny bit.
The print of Ankh-Morpork. For the Terry Pratchett fans out there.
Is anyone overwatching
Yeah.
Ilis and Kirkin doing this?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I'll be Mercy.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
no, wrong Overwatch.
Aldous, are you... You're
If-
watching them make this, are you? You see it written like that on the sign.
I was going to say, if that was the case, can me and Gherkin come?
Clearly, I was following Klein's directions.
If you'd rolled absolutely atrociously, I was going to spell entrepreneur completely correctly and let you misspell delight.
I mean, to be fair, it goes with Quarantine's way of life.
Yeah, preening.
Yeah, preening and entering.
Wow.
So, Aldous, you see them spell it like this, and what's your intelligence, Aldous?
Mine? It's not that great. It's not terrible, though. It's 14.
14. Something doesn't quite look right with it.
I don't care. I'm just watching it
Okay.
because I'm interested.
Can I say that we have probably left Doc and doing this along the way because it would take
Sure.
quite a while.
Yeah,
to
as long as there's nothing else you wanted from Deep Horn.
No, I've got everything. Captain's got everything, I think.
Captain's got everything. Captain's got everything.
Just the first mate of everything.
Both of them.
You
Is
don't
there
know
anything else anyone needs from Deep Horn Charity?
No, I'll probably sign off on the etching saying it's all present and correct.
Yeah. Yep, that's fine. So, you begin to sail out of Deep Horn. Where are you headed?
Wow.
Captain.
Am I acting captain now?
Well, we're heading to Tal Hazar.
Alhazar.
There we go. There's the map.
So, 1. Nine. Begin sailing. And this is one of the few bits to see that I have a more in-depth sea chart for in my little collection here. I just need to be able to find it.
Yeah, so as we sort of leave port, Iris will find a quiet place to sit, and I will cast Enhance Ability Cat's Grace on myself,
Okay.
and then begin the etching of the mini symbols of Ally Aria into the moonstone that he was given.
Certainly. Make a dexterity check. Are you proficient with jeweler's tools?
I am not, but this is something that I've done before for my own taking instructions.
I'll say roll a dexterity check and add half your proficiency bonus.
Cool.
So add
Yeah, so I get advantage from the cat's grace anyway, so
so add 1 on top of the dex check.
cool. That will be 17.
17. Okay, that's coming along quite nicely. You can sit there and carve away.
I would like to take out my forgery kit and make that all the documents that a merchant vessel should have on board for
Okay.
legitimate trading. So, like
Okay.
all the rights and everything like that.
Are you proficient with forgery kit?
I am.
Ah, excellent. So,
He's a charlatan.
Actually, I don't actually have a forgery kit, but I would buy one before I left if I could.
yeah, okay. Let me just find that for you.
Seems I have a disguise kit, but not a forgery kit, but I am proficient.
15 gold pieces for the forgery kit.
Done.
I will say make a... You can make an intelligence or dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus.
Say again, sorry?
Intelligence or dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus.
They're both +1, so...
Okay.
Oh, you were on 18, you shit. 8.
8. Okay. They're looking all right. They look like they've been hastily drawn up to replace some documents. So not fantastic.
Can I assist in this, given my history?
Yeah, you absolutely can. Do you want to roll the check as well? Are you proficient with forges?
I am
Forges
not,
kit?
but I worked for many years on a ship, forging
I will say that
said
you can.
documents and
I will say
making
that you
sure
can
that
also do a half proficiency roll. So intelligence or dexterity plus half a proficiency bonus, which at this level is +1.
So it was a int or dexterity.
Or dexterity. Intelligence or dexterity.
Well, it's not going to be dexterity, let's put it that way. That one +1, 18, 20, 21.
21. Okay. As you're kind of standing there, if quarantine allows, you can kind of step in and assist.
See, all you want to do is just make that, no, take that line out, because if they do inspect it, they'll see that's a forgery.
It's a ghost moment.
Trust me. Yeah.
Well, Aldous is just behind quarantine, guiding the arm.
So, no,
And if you allow it, quarantine, with Aldris's help, you can complete.
I'll let him, but then I will go and take a very long shower afterwards.
yes, you see,
Okay.
if you're going to pass muster at these checkpoints for merchants, you can't have all of this. No, that's wrong. No, that just won't work. And I'll just carry on, just changing everything to make it look official.
Nice.
I've done this before,
Okay.
I think.
Along the way as well, after obviously doing the renaming of the entrepreneurs, Klein would just get out his trident again and loosely hold it like in his hand to see if there was a wavering or a more certain direction to go.
It's kind of wavering, drifting, kind of lazily points southeast, and occasionally just drifts northeast a little bit, but more to the southeast.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I get to roll on that table again. Fantastic. My favourite table. Let's see if you get into one of these. Where is it? Where is it?
What's going to kill us today?
Something with tentacles, probably.
Okay.
Oh, and that's cool.
As you're kind of sailing, as it's starting to get dark, a lot of fog begins to roll in. Very thick, very heavy. You can't really see very far. And the entire boat begins to lurch and shift as the waves get stronger and stronger. And we're going to go into a hazard check. So, the way these work for the new player's reference, we've not done one of these since we picked up again, is that each of the officers on board, along with the crew, are going to roll some checks to see how well you can make it through this situation. So, who's going to be the captain for this? Who is?
I was going to say the big question is who's the officer?
Who is acting as captain in this moment?
I would assume it's going to stay as normal until we get much closer to Talhazan, or we see a ship that looks like it could be a Blue Blades vessel. That would be my take on it. But
Phineas?
I'll be captain then.
Okay, so Phineas, captain, intelligence for a water vehicles check, so intelligence plus your proficiency. So I assume you're proficient with water vehicles. If
Yeah.
you don't have that, then you should. First mate, quarantine, a charisma intimidation check. I will let you use persuasion, in any case. Considering
Persuasion.
your skills. Bosun, Fiddy, that's a climb. That's a strength check with your proficiency for carpenter's tools. Quartermaster Lack, that is a wisdom check, nature check for you. Why does it say nature's an intelligence one? Are you proficient in survival?
No, my nature one's fine.
Okay, use nature then. And so we will then need someone. I'll say, Ilus, can you roll the d20 and add +5 for Branwen's medicine check. It's more interesting when we get you guys to do it. And who wants to take the cook's role?
Well, that should be Balkan, surely.
Yeah, it should be Balkan.
Absolutely.
Balkan, can you roll a check? Hang on, I need to find it in. Oh, I don't have Graal and stat block on here. I forgot I didn't do it yet. Can you roll the d20 and add +4 for me? And finally, can I get both for the crew, Aldris and Kirkin both roll d20s and +6, and we'll take whoever got the highest roll.
20 for Branwyn.
So we'll go along that order I just gave. So, Captain Phineas, what did you get?
14.
14. First mate?
Non-natural 20.
20, very nice. Bosun?
25.
Oof. Quartermaster?
11.
Not great. Surgeon?
20.
20. Cook?
The true first mate also got a non-natural 20.
Okay, very nice. And Aldris Kirkin, what were your two rolls with the
+16 for me.
6?
And 22.
Okay, we'll take the 22. So, okay, with a total score of 132, that is a success. You make it through the heavy waves, thrashing the ship to and fro, but you're all putting in strong work and working pretty solidly as a team. These new crew members seem to be doing quite well, Phineas. So you're able to make it through without much delay. And then another... keep grabbing on a bit. Another day passes from that travel. And Lack, make a perception check for me in this morning. You've rested again once again.
18.
18. You can start to see land coming into view, including the long spit of a peninsula with the city of Tal Hazar upon it. And
Land ho, Captain.
as it begins to come into view, begin to come towards the dock at Tal Hazar with your plan to lie about your ship.
Well,
To,
not lie exactly, just sort of bend the truth a little bit.
not tell the truth. It's completely different.
I have spent as much time as possible on that journey reading.
How many hours left did you have?
I need 18 hours.
18 hours. So I'd say it probably takes a good This is about a day and a half of travel.
Maybe then.
Probably spent about 6 hours, probably about 4 hours dealing with the storm.
Okay.
It lasted a while and took a bit of travelling to get out of.
Aldris would have taken any shifts at the wheel
Yeah.
that the captain would.
That's absolutely fine. Proper long rest of another 8 hours, 12, leaving you with 12 hours, and it's probably coming up to about 11 o'clock. So I'll say that by the time you pulled into the port of Talhazar, you can have read your book and completely gotten its benefits.
Yay! Don't know what it's about, but
I will have book open and then just go, I am smarter now.
As you finish reading it,
It's like that scene in The Matrix when he downloads and learns jiu-jitsu.
as you
Like, straight
kind of
away.
snap
I
the
know,
book
kung
shut,
fu.
the magic just drains from the pages and it's left as a mundane book for 100 years or so. But you do feel smarter. You probably could have spelt the sign right. So,
it's right. What are you talking about?
Okay, as I say, so as I said, that's where we're going to finish for today. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Certainly did.
Looking forward to seeing what you find in Talhazar.
Talhazar.
Huzzah, huzzah,
Everything's a Talhazar. It's the new Agadu.
Stop it. Still not over that.
Talhazar.
It did make me laugh.
I
That
know where you live.
Talhazar, Talvirus, Talakmir, and Talhanum.
Cool.
that whole bunny bit, it made me laugh because it made me think earlier on today. I started watching The Bad Guys, and it's an animated film, and there's a tarantula in it, and even though it is a cute animated tarantula, my feet still went up from the floor and onto the couch, and I was like, still don't trust it.
Apologies, I completely blanked and forgot.
It doesn't matter. Like, I can
about
get
the
through
bunny
it.
rabbit
Like,
rule, but
it's all theatre of the mind, and I can just block that out.
just
I don't
don't
need to
think about
it.
spiders. It's fine.
Yeah. Don't keep mentioning them. It's fine. Well, thank you, PM Jade. We absolutely enjoyed that. I think all of our players had a good time, and all of our players are absolutely excellent. We, of course, will be back here with episode... Oh, shit.
You go an extra one.
11. There you go.
Yeah, 2 extra fingers,
Next week,
Count for you.
same time, same place. If you liked it, fabulous. We'd love to have you along. If you didn't like it, off you fuck. And we will see you all again very soon.
I believe there's something on Sunday.
Good question.
There is not something on Sunday, no.
I thought
Is
there
it
was.
not?
I thought Fiddy was doing it this week.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
it's not being
We're
broadcast.
not live.
So
Oh, of course. That's fine.
it's a off-stream only game, I'm afraid. So
Didn't you forget a very important question?
no, I'm not asking
Oh.
anything.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
You could ask if you want. It'd be my
No,
question.
that's your prerogative.
No, I thought I'd have a week off, because I
Fair
do it
enough.
every week, so it'd get boring. So I have a week
Now you
off.
know how it feels, Chaz, right?
Have we experienced enough life up on the sea?
No, we haven't. I need more time at the wheel. Ship needs to feel like it's mine. I mean, I like the wheel. It's good. After quarantine's takeover, I might get to be full-time help. You never know. So anyway, we will see you all again next week for episode 11, and yeah, have a brilliant week. Bye.
Right.